From the shores of Malibu, where the waves are pumping, to the Great Wall of China and back to the streets of Las Vegas, where the UFC is coming. We are live. This is It's Time Radio, the show where we talk about what you think about, but may be afraid to voice. Do not worry. We will voice it for you. We talk about everything on It's Time. No holds barred radio, folks. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, politics, the world, film, TV, UFC, you name it. We're here to discuss it. And I'm here with my co-host, TJ DeSantis. Another week. We were not on last week. We were not on a live show last week. It was a busy week.
Well, I know it's no holds barred radio, but sometime there needs to be holds that are barred. And last week we did a show, people. Let me tell you, there's a show that lives in the can. But Buffer was so fired up that I thought he was going to piss off every listener, so we just scrapped it.
What?
No joke.
No joke. Here, Sammy, I'll go into it with you. By the way, joining us today monthly, our forever wonderful co-host, the beautiful, the sensual, the intelligent, the ever outspoken. You never know what's going to happen. F-bombs flying, you name it. She'll let us know she's in the room. Sammy Phillips. Hi, Sammy. How are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. Okay, so hang on. Was this the show on Friday?
The show last week, what we did is, listen, I was very upset, as all of us are upset, with the Uvalde, Texas shooting. Very upset, as many people, and I know you're upset with the Roe versus Wade telling women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. This upsets me because women should be allowed to do whatever they want to with their bodies, especially in a case of impregnation, you know, which could happen in many ways beyond the beautiful way it should happen, in ways and criminal, you know.
I mean, when
ways.
people get raped by people they don't want to be sexually violated by, and then they are impregnated, and then will be forced to carry a raper's baby to term. And really quick, since I wasn't a part of that conversation, let me just say two things. If you're against Roe versus Wade, great, because every unwanted child or any child that parent cannot care for whatever, it could be medical, physical, mental, economical, whatever the fucking reason, you better be prepared to adopt that motherfucking child. You better be prepared to feed it, clothe it, pay for it, educate it until it is of age and it can take care of itself. Until every single one of you is prepared to fully embrace and pay for a bunch of strangers' children. Oh, what do you mean by paying taxes? Which we do anyway. But unless you are literally, it's like those animal things. You can adopt a baby elephant in wherever, and it's your elephant. Well, you're gonna have a child, and it's gonna be assigned to you, and it's gonna turn to you for everything.
You see, Bruce, I like it better when it comes out of Sammy's mouth.
Yeah,
I
was a little harsher.
I'm so fired up about this shit, and I will go on record. I don't give a fuck. Ready? I've had 5 abortions. 5 abortions for very good reasons. And the last one was a raper.
You never told me that, Sammy. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
So, the first one, I was 16. So if you want me, a child living on the streets, in essence, to caretake a child, I was not in that position. Planned Parenthood, there I went. So fuck every single motherfucker. Excuse me.
Okay. Now she's gotten to your level of fire.
Now she got to my level, yeah.
But don't tell me what the fuck to do with my body unless you person listening who's so offended by me are prepared or were prepared to raise my fucking child.
Sammy, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm going to say it in the most polite way that I can say it versus the strong way you did. And quite frankly, last week I was very upset, Sammy. I am so respectful of women. I love women for many, many different reasons, but I respect women for the powerful, strong human beings, emotionally and physically, that they are. And the bottom line, as men, we don't physically go through anywhere near what you have to, maintaining your femaledom, your internal organs, everything else. And to be told in a horrific situation that I have to do something that I don't want to do, that it will change my life for the rest of my life, It's just not right. It's just
How
not right.
about we have mandatory, I don't know, men fixins where we just tie your tubes?
Well, you can go around and do that kind of stuff too, but the other.
Or there's no more erectile dysfunction medication for you.
Oh, Sam, if you took away everyone's little blue pills, the world would just melt down.
If you're telling me what I can do with my body, guess what, guys? I don't think that you should use a pill if you can't get it up. Tough shit on you.
I didn't think about that one last week, TJ.
That's serious.
I'm just saying what's good for the fucking goose is good for the fucking gander.
Hey, Sam, too, just real quick, I want to say this, and I think this is sort of the disconnect between the pro-life and the pro-choice people is if you are someone that is pro-choice and you choose to have an abortion, it's not something you celebrate. Like you talked about, Sam, like you're being very honest here and open and sharing more than
about how many abortions I've had or any story around them because people judge. And I really don't. I'm 56 years old. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me at this point in my life. I really do not. Unless you've walked 1 second in my fucking shoes, you can't judge me. Like I can't honestly judge you for your choices.
But my point is what I'm saying though is no one is celebrating the idea that they are using abortion as a means of birth control. It's something that is a very, very emotional burden on the women that go through it as well. It's not
who have abortions don't want to have an abortion.
No.
Right.
They don't have a choice or they feel they don't have a choice. So guys listening, girls listening, in that case, if that person doesn't have a choice economically, physically, emotionally, mentally, you better be ready to step right in and take that little baby. Carry that baby, in fact.
And that's the thing, too. I can't think of anything worse than a mother having a child that they resent.
That, and, take it a step further, in a situation where you're in a state which does not allow the freedom of choice, as we're discussing here, if you don't have money, if you have money, you can travel anywhere and get that.
Sure. I mean, the old saying, money doesn't solve everything. Well, it solves most things.
It solves some things, but at the same time, if you're not
making it illegal in areas where it's low income residents, where it's not so easy to just jump on a flight. And also it's state by state next to each other. Whereas they used to be able to go over the border to Oklahoma or wherever the fuck. Now they can't do that anymore.
Well, and now they're talking about punishing doctors that do it with the death penalty.
It's getting very serious in many different ways. But again, what I was trying to finish before is that if you do not have the money, you're forced to have, the child in the case that you do not want to, then you're not even financially prepared to take care of that child, nor is the government giving you anything to take care of that child.
They don't give you money. Honey, they do give you money. It's called WIC. It's called support. It's called whatever the fuck programs for.
How much is it though, Sammy? Is it enough to raise a kid?
No.
Yeah, but regardless, the point is it's the taxpayers that are paying that anyway. So guess what? You are paying for it one way or another, whether they have it and they can't afford it. But then actually, if you're paying to eliminate it, no one's fucking paying for it. And people think that, the government's paying for you to get abortions. No, they're fucking not. No. People pay to go get an abortion. No government ever paid for me to get a fucking abortion.
Real quick, too, the safety issue I think of this, too, is even if abortion is illegal in your state, it forces some women to seek abortion through alternative means. And then those women end up perishing trying to get the procedure done. And that like you're not only protecting a woman's right, but you're protecting her life as well when you give them the option to go do it in a safe way.
And talk about protecting the woman's life. There's so much discussion about this late term abortion bullshit. No woman is getting an abortion at their 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th month. Not one fucking woman. And show me an article, show me anything. One person that's that far along and has had an abortion. What that is specifically relating to is when the carrier host will die giving birth to said baby. And in that particular case, I do believe they terminate the pregnancy. Also, not at the celebration of either parent or anyone. But I do believe the late term abortion law is to protect the mother in case she will die giving birth.
Right. Sammy, how do you feel if you find that your child is going to suffer from some debilitating, handicapping, mentally, physically
I would not
disease?
get an abortion because my child has some handicap. That's not a reason to get an abortion, because you don't like the gene pool or what God selected for you. No,
I think Bruce is more saying like, what if the child's going to perish young? You know, like has some sort of.
I'm talking about something very serious, Sammy, where they'll be confined to a wheelchair, unable to operate for themselves, God forbid, mentally. I mean, something really bad, you know.
I know there are those very extreme cases.
Yeah.
Again, like.
I'm just saying, should the woman have the right to have a choice?
Oh, absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Has a right.
See, we actually hit the nail on the head right here. I actually like this. Real quick, Sam, if you don't mind, because what you just said really illustrates the point. The fact that you are pro-choice doesn't mean that you would always necessarily advocate for an abortion either.
No, of course not. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a blanket stance that goes across the spectrum of situations. Like, you know, I will be honest. The raper's baby. Okay, so the one before the raper was my then fiance, and he made me have an abortion because of a private matter, and he said we can try again. And then we ended up, you know, not staying together and not trying again.
Right.
And then, so I said after that, I don't care what the situation is. The next time I get pregnant, because I feel that it's a specific soul that God has sent to you. And I always had the feeling like, even though I had an abortion, that same soul was going to come back. It was like meant, you know, it was meant to be for me. So if it's not in that particular little body, it'll come back in another little body. And I never once considered that there would not be another time I would be able to have a baby.
Right.
So after the one with the fiance, I was like, I'm never having another fucking abortion. I don't give a shit. And then there was the rape situation. So I'm like, I'm keeping this little sucker. But I got really sick. Like all of my pregnancies, I knew I was pregnant immediately because I was physically, like, I've never been so nauseous in my life. But this one was way worse than anything. And it didn't feel right. Like, it makes me cry. Like something was really wrong. Like just something was wrong.
Well, your body's telling you something.
And I couldn't keep it. Like, and not to mention that particular person was a celebrity and was by proxy threatening me.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. I don't want to get too much into what happened. But Sammy, was this somebody you were dating, or was this actually just a
no,
situation?
I was not dating.
Wow. Sorry. I don't want to go into the details.
Hey,
thanks for being so open though, Sam.
I was raped and needly and yeah, I got rid of it. Like there was a lot of thought and deliberation into keeping it and then being really sick and threatened and then like having to get rid of it. Like, and then I still had that thought, that little soul is meant for me. And then I hit menopause really early. 40, I'm 56, like 46, stop getting my period. What happens when you stop getting your period? You can't have a fucking baby.
Do you regret not having a child?
Yes and no. I have 6 cats and I'm a great mother and I take care of 9 cats outside and about 8 raccoons, a bunch of squirrels, birds. There was 11 ducks on my property the other day.
Holy crap.
That's a lot of football, Sammy.
Sam is Mother Nature.
I make up for, and then there's 2 possums and then there's Skunk-a-Doodle, who's a skunk. He's like the last one to come through. And there's.
Where do you live? It sounds like you live in the Rocky Mountains.
No, she lives in a beautiful home and she's got plenty of room for all this. Her backyard's huge. She can handle all of it. So Sammy.
So I think
Bruce, I hear you like a woman with a big backyard.
I don't even know how to interpret that conversation. Okay. Gosh.
But
talking about
Are you
property
saying
value.
are you saying I'm a button leg man?
No, I'm just saying that you analyze property well, and never mind.
Okay, that kind of went by the wayside, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, Sammy, going on to other subjects, and not to take away anything from your total honesty, and I appreciate your sharing that. It's very hard for you to share that. Very hard for me to hear it. I'm not going to ask you any details beyond what you want to put out, but the bottom line is, I think the whole point of this conversation is that women should have the right legally to do to their bodies as they please.
If this were happening to me now and I was young, under the current situation in a state where it's illegal to get an abortion, I mean, not to be dramatic and say, I think I'd kill myself, but I'm sure that there's someone out there in that situation with that thought. And for someone other than you and God, and again, not to bring up God, but you and God to decide what is right for you, the person, individual. It is not up to anyone else. If you're of age and you're an adult, then it is your choice. Anything that you do in your life is choice. So
a lot of this comes down, sorry, Sam, I interrupt you, but a lot of this comes down to something that's caused more bloodshed in the history of the world than anything, and the difference of opinions. And when it comes up to religion,
And I'm a firm believer, no two people have the same ideology about religion. Everybody varies in their beliefs.
Like I always say, God bless you. Whoever your God is, I hope they bless you. It doesn't mean that I have to honor that God, but whoever your God is, and to make you feel good and get you through life, I hope he blesses you. He or she, whoever they are, blesses you, and you're living a good, positive life and being a positive role model, your sphere of influence. With that being said, the other thing that upset me so much last week, and we're not going to go into too deeply, I think all of us are completely aware of it, but the Uvalde, Texas shooting was one of the most disturbing in so many different ways. I don't really want to go into it. I think we've all expressed ourselves about it, felt about it. If you don't feel for this, then I don't know what you feel for, but it's just horrific. And now you read like this weekend, and this is what's happening too. You had the Vegas shooting years ago.
mm-hmm.
There was an incident in Vegas, I think last week, where possible shots rang out and everybody's leaving and stampeding and stepping on each other and all that happens with it. And then just this weekend, with the Barclays Center, there was rumors of an active shooting at the Barclays Center, right? It caused a stampede, multiple people trampled, multiple people injured, just horrific, and it's like, it's post-traumatic stress is just happening everywhere with all this stuff. But all I can say is, without getting as upset as I did last week, is that my heart goes out to everybody in this situation that happened in Uvalde, and, the fault they're blaming on the police and the reaction time and all. The bottom line is, it's a horrific situation. Gun control has to happen uniformly throughout this entire country with background checks, everything. 18-year-olds who can't even buy a drink should not be allowed to go into a gun shop and buy assault weapons and ammunition and everything else. And I'm a gun collector. I'm not a hunter. I'm a gun collector. And I believe in gun control, as TJ does too. But I would have no problem if we have to come down to this country and we're not allowed to have assault weapons as citizens. I would have no problem with that, but I will have a problem. We have to be allowed to protect ourselves. We have to be allowed to own arms, and there has to be background checks properly for it.
Two things. I don't understand why there's certain places where they don't have background checks, first and foremost. And second, I think everyone needs to take, I hate to say it, like a mental capacity test, some type of, you can't give a gun to a crazy person. And there are people with records of instability that have access to guns. And I kind of wish, like, you always hear these like medical data banks that share your medical data. So like if you're in one state, you can access your files in another state. I know it's against HIPAA and I know you're not supposed to share medical, but I just wish that there was some way, like if you're applying for a gun, then you should give them access. Like if you're a schizophrenic and you're on medication, maybe that's not the best person to have a gun. No disrespect to schizophrenics, but if you need to be on medication to monitor your mood swings or who you are, maybe that person shouldn't have a gun when you're the other person. So if people were aware of people's mental states, or there was some competency test, like if you answer crazy to a bunch of questions, maybe you shouldn't get a gun. I'm not saying like share the medical records, but that would be great. But I'm just saying there should be some type of competency.
Sammy, it comes down to one thing. It comes down to a number of things, but you're correct in what you're saying to an extent.
Like you have to have a competency test to drive a vehicle.
Well, think about this, guys. I don't know if you have the same experience as I do, but when I go to the doctor, they make me fill out a questionnaire that is meant to just establish your depression level. Like,
yeah, but people can actually lie on those questionnaires.
Of course, Bruce, but at least it's a questionnaire. There's questions being asked.
At least something out. The bottom line is the highest, strictest, hardest form of gun control, background check, still allowing you to get your weapon with your 10, 15-day waiting period, whatever the situation is. It's got to be uniform. We've said this before. We've had John McCarthy on. We've had other law enforcement people on, Sheriff Villanueva, LA County Sheriff's head deputy sheriff. The bottom line is nothing's going to work until this country is 50 statewide uniform in the way it treats gun control. And as long as the Democrats and Republicans keep arguing back and forth so ridiculously about gun control, and hopefully this situation might change that to an extent, we're never going to come to an agreement.
The situation has changed it. It's because, who did I see who was talking about it, that there's like 50 senators that won't vote for the background checks and the blah, 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 because they're holding on to their power, their perceived power, and the gun lobbyists and the blah, 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 and the NRA, NRA, National whatever they are, those people.
NHRA,
not the NHRA, Sammy.
People or something.
I don't think the drag racers are going to help us with
them.
Yeah.
I don't even know which acronym is whom. So the NRAs, like, all of mid-America, everyone's got 1,000 guns. I have a gun. I have a motherfucking gun, but my gun is in a safe and my bullets are somewhere else. I'm like a moron. And my gun is in a safe with a lock through its fucking thing. So if anybody ever broke in here, I would never use my gun for my protection. It's to go target practicing. It's to go to a controlled environment with a cop friend like your brother or my other friend, Richard, and practice and target shoot. And then I lock it away and put it away. So I'm all for guns. I have a gun. But,
right.
I had to also take a test and D and, I was a medically sound person.
You sure?
Is that true? Sammy, you sure about that?
Oh, but you know what? But this is when I got my thing for my gun. I don't think medical marijuana licenses were around at the time. So I don't know if you have one, if that stops you from getting a gun.
No, it doesn't.
Does it?
I don't think it does. I'm not sure. I don't think it does. But you know what? We all have the right. Listen, it's one of the oldest, whatever you call it, rules of the country, the right to bear arms, right? And that's the way it should be. Bottom line is we just have to, again, gun control, safety control, background checks, everything. Is it going to prevent situations from happening? Bad guys will always get guns. Bad guys will always get guns.
Let's just make it harder.
But an 18-year-old who can walk in again and buy 2 assault weapons, tons of ammunition and clips, who can't even buy a drink.
Right. Seriously.
Can't even buy a pistol yet. You can't buy a pistol till you're 21, but you can buy a friggin' assault rifle.
Doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
Because the pistol is more concealable, yes, but the assault weapon is 10 times more powerful.
The assault weapon was made for killing.
Warfare.
But then here's the other thing. People say, well, the assault weapon was made for killing. Yes, it was made for killing. What do you think the other weapons were made for?
All the guns are made for killing.
Gun is made for killing.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that assault weapons is the only one made for. They're all made to kill. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. And that is a very true statement. So let's do everything we can to prevent the people that can kill people from getting guns in their hands. And again, if somebody wants to kill somebody, trust me, if they have a knife, if they have a club or whatever, they're still going to do it. Okay.
People are going to kill people.
People are going to kill people. So, okay. This is a really positive show. Thank you.
I'm like, please, people, don't kill people.
All right. Well, speaking of killing
people.
On a serious note, and we touched on this last week, and I need to touch on it again because he was a longtime friend of mine, but the fine character actor Ray Liotta passed away in his sleep last week. I just talked to Ray a few months ago, and he was busy in the Dominican filming his movie. I don't think it's been revealed yet, but what I've been told, it was a massive heart attack in his sleep. And
at least it happened in his sleep,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much how everyone on the planet wants to go.
That's
besides Buffer, who wants to go right after it's time.
There you go, baby. Well, you know what? My sincere condolences, best wishes, and everything go out to his family and loved ones. Ray is proven to be, from Goodfellas to you name it, one of the finest character actors around.
Hall of Fame actor.
Hall of Fame, 67 years old. Way too young.
Yeah.
Way too young.
Yeah. We talked about it last show that didn't air a little bit, but I want to echo the sentiments. Now, we live in a world where healthcare is so good that if someone dies south of 80, I feel like they're young. No one should be dying before 80 years old at this point.
No, they shouldn't.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. By the way, did you hear about Nancy? And not taking away, Ray, miss you, buddy. Thanks for all the laughs. I'll tell you a funny story. I was having a poker game at my house one time, right? Ray was playing poker over my house, and my buddy Mark looked at him. They were sitting next to each other. He goes, "Hey, Ray, what's your favorite line from a movie?" Right? Ray says the full word, "F you," right? Like right in his face. And my friend's like, whoa, I just asked. He goes, "You asked me my favorite line. I'm telling you what my favorite line is."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So funny. WME's Ari Emanuel got married this weekend.
No kidding.
Yeah, I got married.
Wow.
Yeah. The young lady he always brings to the shows. I'm very happy to see him. This is one of the hardest working men in Hollywood. My old trainer at Gold's Gym, Ari, used to be there literally at 5:30 in the morning, training every day.
That's probably the only time he could. He probably's got to take time out of his sleep schedule to work out.
We remember Entourage, Jeremy Piven's role was modeled after Ari Emanuel.
Yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi.
Do you see similarities? Like, I've never met Ari Emanuel. Do you see similarities in Ari Gold in Ari Emanuel?
Not in the cocky similarities and the craziness that Jeremy Piven's character was full of, but as far as the intensity and the attention to business and getting things done, absolutely. I mean, you could see his mind when you're in front of Ari. He's not a man of many words,
right?
But his words mean everything they say. But you can tell that mind's a trap.
Yeah,
that mind's working all day long.
I'm surprised they didn't do a spinoff with Jeremy Piven for Entourage, just called Ari.
Jeremy Piven ran into a situation that might have interfered with his career, if you remember, a few years ago. I just saw him recently in London, and he texted me the other week, but he had one of those accusation situations, shall we say? I don't know whether that interfered.
I don't know much about it. I just interviewed him not long ago.
The guy's another fine character actor, Jeremy Piven, man. He does a great job and everything. He's a buddy too. I like Jeremy a lot. I don't know. You would think that they would have come off with a spinoff. They did come off with the movie, so there were still things to do.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
Okay, really quick. Speaking of accusations, why are we not addressing the elephant in the room with Johnny Depp and Amber?
Well, we're going to.
Oh God, I can't get away from it.
We're going to get there in a second.
This trial's been going on for a year.
Wait, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, and then we're going to get right there. Nancy Pelosi's husband got arrested.
For what?
Why?
DUI.
Oh, Mr. Pelosi.
No, not Miss Pelosi. Her husband got arrested.
No, I said Mr. Pelosi.
Mr. Pelosi got arrested for a DUI. I'm not laughing about it. I don't find anything funny about it, but he's in the news.
That's terrible.
And another New York City milestone, Sammy. The last public payphone was removed from the streets of New York.
Thank God.
That's crazy. That's crazy, though.
Yeah, it's so disgusting. And
wait, can I tell you something really, really quick? So you know how people have inventions and they come up with inventive ideas throughout their years, whatever. So when I was young, living in New York, I was a teen model running around. This is before cell phones, because I'm 56. And you always had to use a fucking payphone. You had to call your agent. You had to do that, call your mother, call whoever you had to call. So it was disgusting back then. And I'm like, I want to invent a phone condom. It's a little dispensary thing on every phone booth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have them at the toilets, in the public toilet, the thing that you sit on.
My theory was. I even had I made a proposal. Who am I going to propose? But I had to make a prototype. I didn't
Sure.
But then look, and here's the thing. The people that would argue against it being a brilliant idea would be like, anyone can just steal all the condoms off, rip it off the fucking phone booth. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's true.
Right.
But
yeah.
It was still a good idea to give people a sanitary option to hold the fucking handle.
So
I've always hated payphones, even when they were the only thing out
and
there.
Then where do you throw the phone condom? You need a receptacle.
Yeah.
You need a basket. So it was too complicated.
This is how poor I was when I grew up. After school, I would play basketball or baseball, and I have to call my parents to come pick me up. And there was a payphone at the school. I would call my parents, collect, and they would not accept the call, and that was their cue to come get me.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get into Johnny Depp here in a second, but before we do, I just want to let you know that I saw Top Gun last week with my boys.
I'm wanting to see this so bad.
So
How
good.
was it? It's good.
It's so good. It's so good. It's on
That's
the edge
good.
of your seat. The CGI effects. It's
A
like
lot
they're
of it's
flying
not
these planes. It's
CGI,
like you don't
though.
even see it.
A lot of it's not CGI. I actually interviewed the gentleman who plays Rear Admiral Warlock.
That's what I'm saying. It's not CGI.
Yeah, no, they talked about how much they actually flew in these F-18s, and I guess Tom was like against even doing the film unless they were going to be able to actually get in the planes and have people shadow them to where they appear that they're flying.
Or is there a new one?
What's that?
No, the new Top Gun, Sammy. Sammy, you're not aware that Tom Cruise just came out with a new Top Gun Maverick?
No.
Oh,
I
wow.
saw something, but I thought it was the old Top Gun.
No. So yeah, I think a lot of people are actually confused because the old Top Gun actually just came out on Netflix this week.
Yeah.
Coincides with the theatrical release, and that's the thing too. Top Gun is one of the few movies right now that they're not having a streaming option relatively quickly. You're going to have to go see it in the theater, and for good reason.
Right, but for good reason. So here's the cool thing about it. After the COVID pandemic and everything we've been through in the last 2 years with the movie theater industry, Top Gun was released in the theaters. I saw it in the theater. It's a film you should see in the theater.
Yeah.
And it did an estimated 156 million domestically, which made it the largest 4-day opening on Memorial Day weekend in the history of film, beating out Johnny Depp's Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, which did 153. Theaters are back. Okay, that's a good thing. Hopefully it'll stay that way.
I've heard people have gone to see this movie twice already.
It is so it's 2 hours and 19 minutes or something like that.
That's a long film.
It's not long. The last 25 minutes, you're literally on the edge of your seat. And Tom Cruise is so good. Val Kilmer comes in, reprises his role, even though he has throat cancer, talking through the hole in his throat.
Wow.
And you should watch the Val Kilmer special on TV. It's one of the documentaries that he did with his life is fascinating. I mean, we're talking about another actor who's one of the finest actors of our generation.
Yeah, I've got that in my queue on Amazon to watch that Val Kilmer.
It's completely worth watching. I've been binging on Selling Sunset lately because I know a couple of the people for the show. I don't know why I've been binging on that show, but I'm loving it.
See, I told you love property. Big backyard.
Yeah, I guess. And then Johnny Depp again. Sammy,
do we really have to, guys? Like, I can't even go on Facebook without having this shoved down my throat.
Well, the bottom line, okay, let's go to Johnny Depp. I was going to say one thing. Sammy, Kim Kardashian being allowed to wear the Marilyn Monroe dress should never have happened.
Huh?
She wore the Marilyn Monroe dress, the Met Gala dress.
When? At the Met Gala?
Don't you remember that she wore the revealing dress? It just got published like 2 weeks ago. She ripped it when she put it on. She attended the 2022 Met Gala, right, wearing the classic Marilyn Monroe custom-made flesh tone dress.
Why?
She sang "Happy Birthday" to President John F. Kennedy in.
So she
in
destroyed a piece of history.
Well, it supposedly hadn't even been cleaned. Okay.
Really?
And so in order to transform her body into the dress, she went through a 16-pound weight loss. Right.
And she still tore it.
And well, that I guess when she first put it on, whatever, the bottom line is that had the DNA of Marilyn Monroe, and that was such an amazing, iconic dress. I don't think you should have even.
No, it should have been in a plastic case in the Smithsonian or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So now where is it?
I guess it's back in wherever it was before.
But it's torn now.
No, it's probably been.
What I understood, she tore it when she first put it on, a little tear in the dress, and then she lost 16 pounds for it to fit correctly.
So who made it that she could wear it? Like, that's what I don't understand.
I do not know.
Because, I mean, that dress has to be worth millions of dollars.
You see what collectibles go for. I mean, listen,
they just owns that dress allowed her to wear it.
Allowed her to wear it.
Hey, speaking of collectibles, before we get to Johnny Depp, we're just going to torture Sammy forever.
We've got 10 minutes, so let's get to Johnny Depp.
Real quick. Speaking of collectibles, Bruce, you gave me your UFC on Fox 9 cards like 8 years ago, and I'm moving, so I'm packing things up, and I took a photo of it online just to be like, hey, look, this is something I found. It's neat. I got an offer of $2,800 to buy these off of me, Bruce, and I said, no. Not selling them.
Oh,
I would hold on to them because those are really early Fox. If I sign them, they're going to be worth more money. for you, so make sure I sign them for you. But honestly, TJ, if you want to go back, say, hey, you can have them for $4,000, sell them.
No. I like. Here's the thing. There's such a collectible property, Bruce, that I don't feel like I could ask for another set from you. And I never want to be without a set from you. So
I appreciate that. Hold on to them. They'll be worth more money. Think about it, TJ. I have hundreds.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Maybe if I ever get a opportunity to get another set from you and I can sell these off to put my son in college or something, maybe I'll do that.
Well, what I'm saying is think about the fact that I have hundreds in storage. Here you are getting 2,800 for a non-big show.
I know. That's
and
crazy.
And the amount that I sold, think how much money I have in storage in these cards.
Well, I mean, do you have like UFC 40 and all those cards?
I don't have a lot from the early days, but I do have a lot. I mean, right now I'm looking at UFC 100, the first UFC Japan.
Oh, the UFC 100 ones have got to be.
I've got my very first ones from UFC 8 and buy them on Puerto Rico. I got all those.
Remember who gave you the idea to sell them?
You did.
Me. Yeah.
I've only sold like 14 shows. That's it.
I think that's the only reason you actually gave me a set.
Oh, Sammy.
Oh, look at that.
You got it.
How much have you drank, Sammy?
Some.
You like it, Sammy?
I think like this much, something like that.
How good does that bottle look though with that signature? My goodness.
Look at that.
You can sell that on eBay, Sammy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can sell that on eBay, Sammy.
No, I've already drank it.
Well, how do you even empty
no, just sell the bottle, yeah.
How did you like it? How did you like it?
It was delicious. I think I had it with your brother.
You got to you had Brian too? What a night.
No, I had it with your brother.
I know. Sammy, send me a video or something of you holding the bottle.
Oh, yeah, no. I didn't do it that night because I didn't look good.
Okay.
I didn't have like makeup on and I was like,
all right, we got 8 minutes. Johnny Depp.
Oh,
Johnny Depp.
Okay, really quick before we get to the Depp.
God, now she's doing it to herself.
I know. Can we get a new group photo? Can we do because you keep putting these old photos of me from like 20 years ago and it doesn't really look like me.
The group photo doesn't work in the promos that we're doing because I have our guy make them special. Send me a new picture.
I know. I need to do a new picture.
Do it today. Send me a new picture and it'll be there. Otherwise, you're going to look at the same Sammy again.
Do you say new picture or nude picture?
New.
Okay.
I sent you ones with my phone. Why can't you just fucking use one of those?
What's that?
Just resend it, Sam. He lost it.
Sent pictures to
just
you
resend it.
Sammy, I don't hold on to those. You got to just send me something. Send me a couple. I'll send them to Garrett. Okay, Johnny Depp.
Okay, good. Here we go.
What's going to go on? Is who's going to win this case? Isn't it going to be announced this week?
Oh, yes.
Well, when do they stop their arguments? When is it scheduled to go to the jury?
I think it's stopped. I think it's done.
Oh, okay.
Let me catch you up.
Go.
So, last week was Amber Heard on the stand. They did cross-exam on her. Johnny Depp was on the stand. They did cross-exam on him. Then there was closing arguments, both sides, and then jury instructions, and they sent them out Friday. Now the jury, everything went down right before lunch, so they sent them out and told them that they could stay until the evening, but they don't serve dinner, and that they had the weekend off and Monday because it was Memorial Day, and that they had to be back Tuesday to deliberate. They were outfitted with a computer with all of, stop calling me whoever this is, a computer with all of the evidence and discovery on a laptop. They took away 2 jurors. Okay, so I've been following everything on YouTube because they played the case live on YouTube. They have a variety of different sources from crime and law and crime. I watch this lady called Emily D. Baker. She's an attorney. She's amazing. So she breaks down real time on one side the trial and what everyone's doing and why they're objecting. And she'll even say, oh no, objection. And then they'll be like, objection. She's really cool. So I've been following everything along with her, and I tell everyone to do it. And I got lost, but it's really exciting. I know it sounds so crazy.
If you were a juror, Sam, who are you leaning towards right now?
Oh, this is where I was going. So the jurors, there is 9 jurors and then 7 and then 2, they took 2 away and then 2 they removed. They didn't tell anybody that they were going to be an alternate. And then they made the announcement on Friday that 2 go away and nobody knew it was going to be them. And they put their numbers in a sealed envelope before the trial began. So they have like body language experts on YouTube and people breaking down like the jury and sympathizers, and like when they turn away and they're not responding well to Amber Turd, like looking over and pandering to the jury all the
Did you
time.
say Amber Turd?
No.
Yeah, you can tell what side she's coming down on.
Yeah, I just
then,
got that.
People even turn away when she's testifying and give her side eye. So the two that were made alternates, everyone had philosophized that one of them would have been the foreperson, gone. So the two that are gone were definite in the opinions of all the watchers and the body experts and the law tubers who are breaking everything down, sympathizers for Johnny Depp. So really, the other ones, one has a poker face and never really gives in like what he's thinking. So it's really, it's anyone's case to win.
Is this like a normal criminal trial where it has to be unanimous?
It's a civil trial.
Right,
Yeah,
but I know, but in criminal
Yes,
trials, the jury has to be unanimous. Is that the same for civil?
Everyone has to unanimously agree on the damages, that there were damages because it's a defamation suit.
Right.
So they unanimously agree that there was defamation caused by one party. So Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard for her editorial in the Washington Post.
Right.
Amber Heard is suing Johnny Depp because his attorney leaked that video, supposedly, allegedly, that was like, oh, I hit you, but it's not a punch, Johnny. It's, it's just a hit like this. So on that's the first time anybody heard her admit to abusing him. So she's saying that ruined her career, that leaked audio. So
I will say that she's come off poorly in this trial for sure.
Horribly. And something very because, a lot of times I work from home and I have it on in the background, what's going on. So each side presents their witnesses and they have expert testimony on the photos. One side says they're doctored, the other side says they're not. The same with the video, blah, 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 blah. Her witnesses have been horrible.
Yeah. The doctor was really bad.
The doctor was crazy. The psychologist was crazy. And then, on the other end of the spectrum, Depp's witnesses have been really credible.
Yep.
And just the whole difference of the pacing and the style of the presentation of their cases is fascinating and very diverse. And I just feel that his side comes off way more believable. And I feel that, and they're saying, if you think she lied about any one thing in her testimony, then you have to discount everything that she's
right. It's pretty much proven fact that she lied about some things because they had some contradictions that were just indisputable.
There's so much shit. And they're speculating that, that during closing arguments that Depp's side was going to come and say for the damages $1, because it's not about, they did say it's not about the money, it's about clearing his name.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But they couldn't say $1 because then why are you having a suit for damages if all you want is $1? What he wants is his name fucking cleared.
She's suing him for 10 and he came back at her for 20. Was that what it was?
No, he sued her for 50 and she came back at 100. And she had expert witnesses go up on the stand and compare her to Jason Momoa, Zendaya, and Gal Gadot.
Is it possible they both win?
Yes, they both can win. And they both can lose.
Well, I mean, they're losing now anyway, because I don't think an attorney, unless maybe she has one on contingency, which would be crazy, but I can see where the attorney would go for it. Would be crazy. I could see where they go for it, but the attorneys are making all the money on this one.
Oh yeah. And her attorney, Elaine, has dropped the ball, and his attorney, Camille, she is Camille Vasquez. Amazing.
Are they supposed to be having an affair, Sammy?
No, yes, but they're not. They're not at all. Supposedly. I don't think they are. She is incredible and is such a competent cross-examiner. She could literally give a fucking course on how to cross-examine. She's fascinating.
Would you guys agree this is the biggest trial on TV since the O.J. Simpson murder trial?
Absolutely.
As far as on TV, yeah, no, the way they're being covered by the press and everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because
I
there's
don't want to
even
compare the
other-
two. I don't want to compare the two. 'cause there's
Obviously,
absolutely no
right? But
comparison.
I just feel about like the significance and exposure is
The
very
fact
much.
that everybody's watching and talking about it, and the fact that social media and the internet and everything is so more advanced than it was back in the early 90s
Yeah.
when OJ was on trial. Yes, it's definitely bigger.
Sam
and
is more fired
exposure.
up about this than any movie or television series she's seen in the last 20 years.
I'm telling you, because I fucking believe him. I believe him, and I do not believe her.
I find that most of the people I talk to, especially women, they all side with Johnny Depp.
And listen, I am pro women. I am for the women. I am for women that have been raped, assaulted, abused, because I have been those three things. So I sympathize with victims. I too am a fucking victim.
Real quick, I haven't paid attention to this like Sammy has, but did you feel the same way, Sam? The way that she addresses the jury with every sort of question that she has, that kills it for me. Like, it seems like she's so disingenuous.
And also, she's like, she does like the...
Oh, that's way better acting than she has.
And zero tears. And also I watched, there's so many great like debunking things on YouTube. So now I'm in this fucking YouTube hole, and I never watched the fucking YouTube, but with the trial being live on like Entertainment Tonight, there's all these different channels that carry it. There are people like, especially body language experts, that are analyzing and playing the tape and analyzing everything. And she literally, like when she was talking about one of the most atrocious assaults with the bottle and the this and the breaking of the bed and that, she goes back and forth explaining it in tenses. Like, so he did this, and then just like it was either past tense she was describing it, or she was describing it in like present tense, and the tenses just didn't match up, and it was like as if she had rehearsed it. And that's how it's coming off to people. There is zero tears with all the... If you are a sincere victim of rape, you cry about it because it's really traumatic, right? And you have... hers is not reading real, and every single person is picking up on it.
Hey, Bruce, any truth to the rumor, Bruce, that they're bringing you in to read the verdict?
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to definitely give it my all. Maybe throw a 180 in there. You know, just like when it's a split decision, and I point to the loser or the winner first, and then bang over the other one.
Do it.
You know what? There's people on Twitter and in social media asking me to do it. I mean, that's how crazy this.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, we got to wrap.
I get asked to do nutty stuff. Okay, we got to wrap it up, Sammy.
Well, maybe it's not popular for guys to weigh in, but as a female, I believe him.
Again, I'm going to say it, that most every woman I know that I talk to about this, they are all siding with their beloved Johnny Depp. You guys love
But Johnny. It's not beloved. I could give two fucks. Like some of the witnesses, like, are you a fan of Johnny Depp's? And the guy was like, not really. No. So, I mean, it's not like, oh, I love Captain Jack Sparrow. I think I've seen one Pirates movie. And
no matter how you cut it, he's one of the finest actors of a generation.
He's fantastic, but I'm not married.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets any work though, moving forward.
Oh, okay. So me personally, regardless of who wins this defamation case, this really was meant to play out in the court of public opinion, regardless of what actually happens in that courtroom, because he wanted the world to hear his side, his story, and he got that opportunity a multitude of times.
Yeah, and instead of writing his own editorial, he did it in court.
Yeah, but you know, we talk about his career. What about her career? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how
it's trashed. It's trashed.
Amber Turd will always be known as Amber Turd. No one will ever call her Amber Heard.
I never heard that until today.
Well, she allegedly pooped the bed, Buff.
I saw that whole thing, and Saturday Night Live did a funny bit on it. It was hilarious.
I know.
Oh my God, it was so funny. All right, well, at least we're not in the news for those kind of things, so it's all good. Sammy, what's up? Let's sign off. Don't say that. Let's sign off.
No. Knock on wood. Where's some fucking wood? Here. Wood.
All right.
Wood. Or knock on wood.
All right, Sam, where can people find you?
Sammy, give it to us.
Oh shit. Am I 5 minutes? Oh, fuck. I'm 5 minutes late for my Zoom. Okay. Hey, Sam's Pajama Party on Instagram, The Single Life on Twitter, Sammy Phillips on Facebook. I love everyone. Pick up Penthouse on your newsstands everywhere, in bookstores everywhere. Boom.
Hey, are we going to make an announcement about Penthouse soon?
Yes. And someone that you know, I just got a cover story for.
Oh.
that I met through you.
Oh.
It's me. Cover story.
Oh, come on. I want to know who this is.
It's me. Right here.
It's a female?
Oh.
That you met through
Damn it.
me?
Yeah.
Wow, my curiosity. Oh, Sammy, stay on. I want to hear this. We're going to sign off. Okay, go TJ.
Real quick, you can check out Jorge Masvidal's Icon FC. It airs this Friday night live on UFC Fight Pass. Please tune in. I'll be on the call with Pearl Gonzalez. Then on Sunday, I will be down in Cancun, Mexico for Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, where it is all about the lightweights. That too will air
Oh God,
on
I gotta
UFC
go.
Fight Pass. Bye, Sam. Bye.
Bye, Sammy. Bye.
Bye.
Sammy, text me the name of the person.
She gone.
Okay, that was quick. All right, TJ, and I'll be back. Let's see. I go to Singapore next Wednesday, so we'll bang out a show next week before I leave.
I'll be on the road, Buff. So if we could do it, it's gonna have to be like probably
we'll get it done.
Tuesday.
We need to get it done. Let's figure that out, and we'll definitely have one next week. Want to talk about that Singapore show, all the things going on. TJ, listen, I got to run. Got a lot of things happening here. Got a short week with the 3-day weekend, but all good. And everybody, TJ, thank you so much. Interesting show. Sammy, definitely going off. We don't have to kill this show, do we?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay, I think we're okay too.
It's better to have a woman's perspective when we, voice things. So
Cool.
She provided that.
Got it. Absolutely. In this case, for sure. All right, everybody. Treat everybody with respect. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Be a role model to sphere of influence when you set out on that path. Set your goals, write them down, learn about them. So when you go on and take that first step on the yellow brick path of life, you're the best you can be, because then you're winning. First, second, third, champion, you name it. Be the best you can be. Be proud of yourself. Love yourself before you can love others. This life is worth living. It's beautiful outside. I wish everybody love and happiness in this world of which we live. Let's just stay positive and on a positive note. Love you, TJ. Love everybody listening. Love life. Have a great day. Buffer out. Be back next week. Smiling away.